So hello friends, you're watching Demon God Gaming and hope you guys doing well, and I'm back with another killer tutorial video. So recently one of my viewers commented that I am always showing the 10 by 10 builds on every killer tutorial, and his comment was right that I am showing every 10 by 10 builds on my tutorials. So today I'm going to explain generic builds, because when it was the old DVDM I used to play with universal perks all the time, because those days you don't get all the perks unlocked for every killers just by prestige. Those days you have to level a killer to 30, then his perks gets unlocked for every killer, and then you have to level up other killers to gain those perks randomly if you can get them. Those days it was too tough to play this game as a killer with general perks. So if you're going for a killer that don't have other perks like scorch, pain resistance, pop, bamboozle, that's why I'm going to show some general builds here. So let's go with the builds. And also I request you guys that you go and prestige at least artist and clown from the very beginning, because these days prestiging killers is very easy, and after prestiging a killer for the first time his teachables gets unlocked for other killers. So I recommend you go prestige artist and clown as soon as possible, then you play other killers so you can get many good builds to use on your killers you want to play all the time. So let's start with building our generic builds. So info is a very required thing in DVD. So the first perk I'm going to talk about is Bitter Murmured. With Bitter Murmured you can combine Iron Grasp and other perks like Eruption. I am not going to talk about Jolt, Claustrophobia and Fearmonger right now. I am going to talk about at the very end, because those are teachables of Demogorgon. Demogorgon is not in this game anymore, that's why we got those perks for free in general category. But if in future, if I don't know if he's going to be added in this game again, if he gets added into this game again, then you will not get those 3 perks. That's why I'm going to talk about them at the very end. So you can use Bitter Murmured with Iron Grasp, Noid and Eruption, or you can replace Noid with Lethal Pursuer. Iron Grasp gives you the ability to carry survivors easily, because you don't get the wiggle effect that much, and survivors needs to 12% more time to wiggle out from your shoulder. Bitter Murmured, whenever a generator gets completed within 16 meter of the generator, every survivor's aura is revealed for 5 seconds, and when all the generators are completed, all the survivor's aura are revealed for 10 seconds. It has a very good synergy with Lethal Pursuer, because in the start of the match for 9 seconds every survivor's aura is revealed, and whenever survivor's aura is revealed to you, that aura reading time is extended by 2 seconds. It also has a good synergy with Eruption, because whenever you click a generator, Eruption gets activated on the generator, and whenever you put a survivor to dying state, that generator explodes automatically and loses 10% of its current progress. 10% of its progress, and that survivor who was repairing that generator screams and reveals its aura for 12 seconds. You can replace Iron Grasp with Noid. Noid provides you 4% speed boost when all the generators is completed and exits are powered and survivors get exposed. This build is very good on every killer. You don't need to prestige any killer, or you don't need to use other killers perks. Means if you're playing Trapper, you don't need to use Trapper's perks at all with this build. If you're playing Michael Myers, Freddy, Wraith for the first time without pressing other killer, you can go for this build as soon as possible. Now I will talk about some other perks that are good from the general category. You can replace Bitter Murmured with Spice from the Crows. Spice from the Crows is a sorry, I'm calling it wrong. Spice from the Shadows, not Crows. What happened whenever a survivor disturbed a crow, you got a loud noise notification, and you can understand that okay, there is a survivor. This perk has a 5-second cooldown, and the good part is survivors can't counter this perk at all, and they can't know if you have this or not. Why? Because Calm Spirit is the only perk that can counter this perk directly, and another thing is that if survivors are crouching near the crows, then they can counter this perk. Otherwise, this perk has no counter. You can replace Noid with Sloppy Butcher to get early slowdowns or like continuous slowdown. Whenever you hit a survivor with Sloppy Butcher, they suffer from hemorrhage and mangle status effect for 90 seconds, and their healing speed gets slow. They get a slow healing speed, and if they stop healing in the middle, then they will lose their healing progress. You can also use Monster Shrine, Scorchuk or Monster Shrine. This perk is very good. I have forgotten about this perk after using those 10 by 10 builds. And this perk has very good synergy with other Scorchuk. What happens? 4 random hooks become your Scorchuk, but your basement hooks is treated as Scorchuk as well. Now, when you hook a survivor in your basement hooks, you also get the other Scorch Hook values like Scorch Hook of Pain Resonance, Scorch Hook of Gift of Pain, Scorch Hook of Floods of Rage, any other Scorch Hook that is present in this game. You get also those Scorch Hook's value. This perk is very good, and what it does additionally, it increases the time that takes for per hook stage by decrease the time that takes for per hook stage by 20%. And if you're hooking a server in the basement, then it increased by 10%, because basement hooks had by default the 10% bonus decrease bonus in the hook stages, so you get 30% faster entity summon. It's very good whenever you are 24 meters away from the survivors. So you need to be 24 meter away from the survivors. This perk is very good with other Scorch Hook, and you can go for a Scorch Hook build with this perk. I personally recommend that if you are going to use basement trapper, go for this perk and Scorch Hook of Pain Resonance. But other than that, if the survivors are hooking each other very quickly, you don't get that much value out of this perk. Jolt, as I told you, I will talk about Demogorgon's perks in the very end. You can replace Monster Shrine with Jolt, or you can replace Sloppy Butcher with Jolt. Jolt is a very good perk whenever you put a survivor to dying stage. Within 32 meters of the survivor, every generator gets affected by Jolt, and they lose 8% of their progress. It's very good, but Jolt and Eruption in combo, you can use them. They are very strong, but you will hit the 8 kick gen limit very quickly with these two perks. You need to consider about that, the 8 kick system that is now with the generators. Deastoker is not that good if you are not going for slug. If you are going for a slug match where you are going to slug every survivor, you can use this perk. Let's find other general perks. Okay, here is the Hex Thrill of the Hunt. You need to use this with other Hex perks, otherwise this perk has no value. You need to use it with other Hex perks. When I will teach you about like Hag, if I am able to learn her, or I am going to teach you about Pinhead, that time I will demonstrate this perk. Other generic perk, okay, Insidious is not that much useful anymore, because only basement babas can use that perk. Now after the new anti-cam system, Insidious is like very useful. If you can get a value out of it, is up to you. Shattered Hope is a useless perk. Don't use it. It's just countered the boon totem, nothing more than that. Relentless or Unrelenting. Unrelenting is a very good perk. You can replace any perk with it. I recommend you replace it with Sloppy Butcher. What happens whenever you perform a miss attack or you miss a basic attack or special attack, it reduces that miss duration by 20%. It's very good if you are new. It helps you to learn the game very quickly. You can use this perk. So these are the builds that you can use as a killer when you are just starting this game. Very good perks. By the way, Scorch Hook of Monster Shine, as I told you, don't get value out of it if servers are unhooking them very quickly. So I recommend you replace it with the Jolt. Let me find Jolt. Okay, here is the Jolt. Do I have anything else than Jolt? So that, okay, Sloppy Butcher is good. You can replace it with Sloppy Butcher, but I recommend you go with this build most of the time. Jolt, Eruption, Unrelenting, and Lethal Pursuer. You're not going to lose with this build at the very start of the game, because on the beginning, at the beginning of this game, when you're just starting as a killer, you will get beginner survivors also. So with this, you can go play around them. But I highly recommend you go prestige artisan clown as soon as possible. As soon as possible, you prestige them. With their perks, you can go for many good builds. Okay, whispers, I forgot about this perk. This perk is very good with trapper. If you can play trapper very well, whenever a survivor is in your terror radius, means 32 meters, within 30 meters of you, basically your terror radius, you get a noise notification, and the closer you are to the survivor, the noise notification get increased. Good killer mates who have much higher experience in this game can get value out of this perk. This perk is very good and does not have any counter. That's the main point. This perk has no counter, so who are much experienced in this game can get value out of this perk. Otherwise this perk is not that useful. And now I'm going to explain you about some tiles in this game. So let's go inside our testing ground. So right now I am in Rancid Abattoir, and the first tile I'm going to talk about, the special tile of Coldwind Farm, or the iconic tile, is the Harvester and how to climb it from this end. So you have a cap type part here which is look like a hoodie also. So you need to just get closer to it and jump to that havel. So what you need to do, you need to come to that cap type part and then slide on that havel. So do that. You need to fast walk, and like this you will climb this part from this area. Let's do it again. Like this you will come here. You need to practice it, and sometimes if you have lag or some issue, you can't vault it, like you can climb that part. Now how to loop it? If survivors are looping you like this end, if they are about to vault that part, you know that, then you just fake it from here that you are climbing that area and hit them here. This is a chase movement in this style. Another part is this vaultable part. As I told you how to climb that part, you can just go like this and fake it and hit it here. You need to fake that you are going for the havel part, but no, you are going for that vault part. Also you can climb that area and hit it here. So this is the 3 ways you can loop this style. And another one is that bam that area. If you have bamboozle, just bam it, nothing more than that. That's why I told you to prestige clown. Now this is called LT wall or TL wall, whatever you call it. You have 2 connected windows, and to chase a survivor here, you need to always stay in the middle of the tile. Now how to do it? Your red stain is extended toward the edge of that wall. This is the length of your red stain, and you need to moonwalk. You need to fake your red stain to hit a survivor on the window. Let me show you again. If the survivor is chasing you, you go here. The moment you think that your red stain is visible to you, to the survivor, you moon back and hit on the window, or you can like moonwalk and like fake like this, rotate yourself, and you can get a hit here. Looping LT wall is easy. L part, you just need to fake as much as you can. You need to harass the survivor on this part, and if they make a mistake and go for the vault, you hit them on the window. Or you can go bam the T part, then you chase them in the L part. Now let's go to another tile, which will be the long wall gym. I think I got a long wall gym here. Yes, I got a long wall gym here, but the survivors are here. I need to slug at least 1, otherwise they're going to gen rush me. Let me down her and slug her. Okay, she spawned with resilience. She spawned with resilience. Okay, I slugged hard and I'm near some good tiles. So which tile I should go first? Okay, this seawall tile. This is called seawall gym or pallet, simple pallet gym. So you need to chase the survey on the small part of this wall and mind game them. If you go for the long wall, it may happen that they will mind game you and leave this tile to connect to another tile. So how to loop it? First, you need to mind game like here. You fake it and moonwalk. So you have to force survivor to drop the pallet so that you can break the pallet and decrease the difficulty of this tile. The moment the pallet is down, this tile is very easy to loop. So if they don't drop the pallet, you come here and fake it and then fake it and go hit them if they're camping the pallet. And if they drop, break the pallet as soon as possible. If not and you are on the small side of the map, just mind game them, force them to mind make a mistake. You can hit them like this here, because sometimes survivors stay on this part hidden from the killer. They think that okay, killer, we think the killer is not that the survivor is not near the killer and he will left, and you can do that. Or you can go for the double fake like this and hit the survivor here. Double faking is like you're moonwalking, dancing around the pallet and showing your reds on the one part and then appearing on the other part. This is also a technique. Now let's go for this tile, the pick tree. This is the iconic tile in Coldwind farms, also like the harvester, and you need to force the survivor always run around the loop like this. You need to force them to vault this location from this part, not the other side. Otherwise they can loop you for an infinite amount of time. If they vault this location, then force them to loop like this. If they vault the pallet is good. If they don't drop the pallet, they are going to vault this area again. That's why I told you, if you bam this area and force them to drop the pallet, this tile is literally useless. Now you can go like this, and the moment they drop the pallet, you break it. Don't respect the pallet on these tiles. You need to force them to drop the pallet. If the pallet is gone, these tiles are pretty much useless. Okay, who's here? I need to slug hard also. Let me slug this liter and then I will explain how to loop the shack and the short wall gym or the pallet window gym. How did you blind me? I'm looking upward. Okay, she's slugged. Now let's go for the shack. So every map has a shack like this except a dog saloon. If the server is looping you to the from the palace side, just fake that you are entering through the palace side like this. Let me show you again like this. They will drop the pallet and you are not going to be stunned. And if they are not dropping the pallet and going to vault the window like most of the server does, they grid pallet. So what you have to do, you just fake that you are entering the pallet side and then get back there to the window and hit them like this again. So you need to loop this part like this. There is another style they do, like they're looping you this side. You can go mind game them, just I did to the Michaela and hit them here. And another thing you can do, if you don't have BAM or they are not that easy to be fooled, you can vault the window like this and revault the window like this. Then you can catch them or cut them from this part and go like this and can force them to drop the pallet or can get a hit out of it. So this is the ways you can loop shack. Now let me drop her to the corner of the map so that she don't get the hatch. And after this I will go explain the long wall gym. Okay, long wall gym is there, then this tile should be the short wall gym. Wait a minute. Oh no, we got both long wall gyms. Yes, it's the long wall gym. Okay, we got two long wall gyms. We don't have short wall gyms. Okay, I will explain the short wall gym on another map. So let me explain this. This is called long wall window pallet gym, where you have a long wall with a window and a pallet here. Server most of the time enter the pallet side and vault the window. So if you can't force them to drop the pallet, don't go for it, and you go for the window directly. Don't force them at all to drop the pallet. Just go for the window. Force them to vault the window. Okay. Now, the moment they vault the window, you need to notice where they are going. If they are going left, you go left, then you come back and vault this window. You will cut them, and you can catch them on the left side or on the right side if they are moving total, and you can loop them. If they go for the right side, you going fake right and vault it. And if they are in the left side, you can chase them in the left side. If they are on the right side, you can chase them on the right side. And if you have bam, just bam it. Loops are very short if you use bamboozle. Bamboozle literally shut down many loops. Okay, and if they drop the pallet, just break it. It's a god pallet like Shaq's pallet, so don't risk it, just break it. Now this is the main building of Rancid Avatar. Main building has 3 windows, and the strong one is the right one, extreme right one. This is the only strong window on this tile. The most left is critical. If you can happers the survivor, you will get a down out of it, otherwise no. This window is not mind gameable, so go for bamboozle it, because survivor is going to loop you around it like in circles. So just go and bam it to shut down this loop. I recommend do that. And if you are able to mind game, you can catch them right here, otherwise no, they are not that easy to be fooled around this style. And this is a filler pallet. Break it or just circle around it to down the survivors. It could be a god pallet if you don't break it, because you can go through it. You need to circle around it. Okay, and they can circle around this tile for infinity. Okay, match ends. Let's go for another map. Okay, it's Wrecker's Yard, and yes, it's a window pallet gym where you have a pallet here and a window right there. So the pallet spawns here almost all the time, not most, and a window here. Now this tile is looped by servers mainly 2 ways. They enter from the pallet side to stun you. Like the Shack pallet, you need to fake it, like you come here and moonwalk, so they drop the pallet and you don't get stunned. The another thing, they enter from the window side like this. They enter. Now you have to wait, because sometimes servers does, if they vault, you go from the side. If they vault, you go from this side. But another thing you need to notice all the time, and that is sometimes servers don't vault it and change their direction, and because you're busy to come around this way, they make a very high means large distance. So what you should do, you need to wait if they're vaulting or not. Let me show you how. Like they're entering, you need to change your direction at the very end moment. Let me show you again. Like you enter here, you vault it or bam it, otherwise you need to wait for them to vault. If they vault, then you go like this and hit them. If they don't, it's going to extend the chase. So this is how you loop around this tile, and that's it. Let's go talk about the iconic crane of Wrecker's Yards. This is a very common tile in auto heaven maps. So most of the time what the server does, they climb here and vault this location. Now you can counter that vault location 2 ways. You can see that there the fence is broken. What you climb that and you circle around this, and servers vault that location and you hit them here. This is one way. Another way, you can push them right here and drop the pallet. Now you can counter this 2 ways. Like you come here and change your direction like this way, and you go here and hit them here. But servers are calm, experienced servers are very calm. What they does, they wait for you to climb this staircase. they stay here and notice it if they are iPad user, and if you're the Android user, they are going to stay here and see if you're climbing this. The moment they see that you're climbing, they vault that location. And because you climbed much of a distance, you need to go back and circle around the pallet to hit them. That's why you need to climb it, drop from here, and you can hit it here. And if you are not able to hit them, they have resilience or balance landing. You notice that they are going for the pallet side, force them to drop the pallet. You break the pallet or circle around it so that you don't lose distance, and you do the same stuff. They again drop yourself and go hit them. But I suggest you always break the pallet, because with the pallet this tile is very strong. Now let's talk about the rock tile. Rock tile is easy mind gameable. It consists of a pallet, but it's strong if you can mind game around it. And if you can mind game around it, then survivors will get down eventually. Now what you will have to do, you need to circle around it from the smaller end, as I told you, like the seawall gym. You need to circle around the smaller end. You need to fake your terror radius, redstone, and you can get a hit. You show your redstone here and go here, show your redstone here and then hit. Now don't see the pallet totally, you need to see the edge of the pallet to hit them. Okay, this is the way you can counter this tile. Now let's talk about another tile. Now this is a very common tile in other maps also. In Cold Wind Farm you would see the hay bales that through them you can see the survivors. So this tile is pretty mind gameable. You just need to fake your movements, like you show your redstone here, you come here and grant a hit. Don't make a wide loop, just hug the tile as close as possible. Okay, some kind of ping issue. Okay, this is how you can counter this. But if you are in the Cold Wind Farm, just go break the pallet, because around that you can go for mind games that much. Now here is another rock tile, same as the other rock tile and seawall gym. You need to loop around the small part of the tile, and don't see the total pallet to loop. Like here I saw the total pallet. Don't see the total pallet, just see the edge of the pallet, edge, just the edge. Like here you can see that you can only see the edge of the pallet, and back means start with your moonwalk from that end and you can get a hit on the other part. Okay, same here, you just see the root of the tree, stem of the tree, sorry, and then you come back and hit here. That's how you can loop it. Don't go for the long side, because around the long side you can see the survivor for too much. You don't know even if they are going to vault or not, and it's a very safe side for survivors. So always go for the short side and survivors will fall for it. Okay, this is how you counter this loop. Now let's go for the broken truck, the one of the iconic loopable part in Auto Heaven Wreckers yards. So what you need to do, survivors always go here and vault for that position. You need to moonwalk and fake it that you are going for them. They will panic and vault, and they will loop you from this side again. Sometimes they stay here and see if you are going for the left or right, but they will loop you from this end. You can do one thing, like you can go this way if they're checking for check spots, and then loop them again so they can't go for fast vault. Let me put a trap here so that they don't complete the generators as quickly as possible. Now another thing you can do, like you come here and stand still. You can face stand still, but don't vault it. You come here, you show your redstone. If the server is baiting you, just wait for a second, then you go and come back and go. They will vault, panic and vault. You need to force them to vault that window. The moment they vault, you can catch them from here. So this much is the common tiles you will face on every map. Like there are some tiles on other maps that is treated as the broken truck or crane. So this much for today. I will make other looping how to loop other tiles later with much more deep men's content. I'm just showing it for beginners. So that's it for today, and see you guys in another video. Goodbye, see you all.
Cybernetics.